Okay, so today is Wednesday, September 13th, 2023. This is the regular monthly meeting of the Southwick Agricultural Commission. The meeting is being recorded, and we do have actually a fairly abundant quorum here tonight. Myself, Bert Hanson, Zach Barnett, Sage Fury, Angie Simone, Tammy Sayak Bisaon, and online we have Marissa Cook Obregon and Jessica Whitmore Parker. So that is good. So for public comments, we wanted to do, yeah, there's no public in the room. But
Jason's online.
Yeah, Jason. Oh, here comes a public. Oh, this is Lucas, our honorary member, Lucas Karen.
Come on down.
I knew that Dan actually would not be here. Didn't hear from the others, and I'll just wait till Lucas gets up here.
Ron at all?
A week or so ago, he's getting a lot better.
Okay, good.
You know, kind of slowly.
Yeah.
But I guess he's very tired. He says after 3 or 4 hours, I have to lie down. So, but he's getting better, and I'll get to this, but he tilled the garden, the community garden recently. So that was pretty awesome. Oh, we have another guest, Raquel.
She's our frequent.
Yeah, right.
She's our audience right
That's
there.
right. She's an honorary member as well.
She's a groupie.
So it's not really public comment, but we have some things we want to share with Marissa. So.
Don't worry, Mama. Curious. We heard from a little birdie, aka your mom, that you need a stroller. We got you a stroller from all of us. Oops, I don't know if you can see that or not.
Yep. Oh, she did.
I'm on mute. Oh my gosh, sorry. I was just oh my gosh, thank you. So unexpected. Very kind of you guys. Thank you so much.
And to go with that, you can't have a little boy without a little farm outfit.
Oh my gosh, that is perfect. Oh, that should fit him by the next open farm day, right? He'll be ready to go.
0 to 3 months, I think I got.
Oh, well, maybe not that. He'll be
Make bigger-
wearing it for the farm parade.
Sizes of it.
Oh gosh, thank you guys so much. That's incredibly kind of you. Thank you for being so thoughtful. I'm so touched.
Nope.
And a card for you. We'll
Thank
send,
you. I'm sorry I'm not there in person. It's been a long day, so I couldn't quite get myself over there, but I'm glad my mom's there.
If you don't mind.
commemoration of and congratulations for your baby and the first open farm day.
I'm
Oh,
just
thank
chasing.
you.
We have this sort of
There you go.
Beautiful.
collage type thing with a picture of you and Greg and Raquel at Solick Farm on the day.
Thank you.
As far as I know, there is only one photo of that day with you in it.
Oh, thank you so much.
Both seem-
Oh, this is so sweet. Thank you so very much, guys. This is such a thoughtful gesture. I so appreciate it. And yeah, I'm just glad that open farm day went so well and just really happy to share.
Open farm, passport down there.
I see that. Yeah, that's beautifully laid out. Bravo.
Thanks to Southwoods, Cole at Southwoods.
They're great.
Congratulations, Marissa, in celebration of our first open farm day and your baby boy. What a great story for the future. We so appreciate your hard work and dedication to the open farm event. A huge success. You rock.
Thank you so much, all of you. Wow, I'm so touched. Thank you very, very much for all the gifts, the thoughtfulness, and for the surprise. This is incredibly sweet of all of you. So thank you. And I'm sorry I'm not there this evening to receive, but hope that you're feeling my my appreciation through the screen.
We knew it was
Virtual
a
hugs.
yeah, virtually, yeah.
Thank you very much. Virtual
Yeah.
hug back to all of you. you.
We knew it was a kind of a gamble whether you'd actually be here in person or not, but that's
Yeah.
okay.
Days have been getting a little bit more difficult to get around and have enough energy to make it to a place by 7. But thank you
Yeah.
nonetheless. Really, really appreciate it. Thank you all.
Well, for some correspondence, Angie brought in the schedule, et cetera, for Granby Open Farm Day, which is this coming Saturday. So I'm going to pass that around. Also, I went to the Woodstock Fair in Woodstock, Connecticut over Labor Day weekend. They always do it, and they have some cool little things here. I can get, whoops, if I can get it. So meet your local dairy farmer, and then a kid's discovery, dairy discovery, like little activity workbook. So I don't know, maybe we can think about that at some point. I think that's it. There was something in the mail today, but I'm going to get to that later. Let's see. So new business, southwickag.com is up. And that just makes me wonder about, excuse me, our online presence overall, because we have our official, town webpage, we have a Facebook page, and now we have our website, our dedicated website. So I guess I'm going to ask you, Sage, but everybody chime in, like what content goes where?
Well,
we don't want to post the same stuff three places, right?
well, I think the more of the point of the website was to give it to be a database for all of our research and stuff that we know that when you put on Facebook loses everything. It's temporary.
Yeah.
So it's more of that's your blurb Facebook. So this is when we know we have instant information. We know that we want to get it out there, but we know what's going on. And our websites, our whole database structure where we have it there. So if someone remembers seeing it on Facebook, they know to go to the website and find it.
Okay.
That kind of thing.
And you can share stuff from the website to Facebook.
Yeah.
That way it's-
Like our events. Like
And
the,
videos too.
Yeah.
On the website.
and like I know you worked hard on creating like the farm bios and kind of history and stuff, and like do like just little blurbs and link to the website, right?
Yeah. The events also,
Yeah.
definitely the events on our website, because
Oh, yeah.
now people can find it, see it, and it's a great advertisement every time you have an event. Hey, we have a website. That's gonna be
Right.
fun and exciting.
Right.
Or-
Plus, I get to deck it out so that every season I'm gonna change it so it shows the seasons.
Awesome.
And like anytime you Lucas or you ever post or letter too,
Mhm.
you just put the link like, hey, there's a new newsletter,
Yeah.
they're on Facebook.
Yeah, I meant actually to ask folks at Southwoods if we can, publish our Southwoods articles on the website and how we would do that. We would want to.
Southwoods have a website?
Yeah.
Cause I can always link every single article that we do that and show them under, so they get
Yeah.
credit, plus a
Okay.
link directly to them.
Okay.
I like that.
Just wanted to chime in. I've been working on the website over the past 2 days. So I took everything that Sage had on there and kept it on there, and I just added tons of photos. I changed the layout a little bit to just make it more editorial and graphic, kind of keeping in line with what people are doing for websites now. I just published it like half an hour ago. So yeah, all of Sage's content is on there. I just added more content from the various brochures that we've developed over the years, our Right to Farm flyer. And yeah, I mean, just to Bert's original question, no one checks the town website except for I think a handful of people, and it's just not an information friendly or navigable friendly type of platform. I'd
Right.
say people 40 and under do not check or do not have Facebook. So Facebook is not a reliable means for a big part of the population. And I think a website, if you're able to put everything on there and then from there filter out what you want to put on the town website or what you're required to put on the town website, like meeting minutes and whatnot, and then put promotional posts on Facebook, that's great, but I think websites are the way to go just in terms of having everything on there. So there is going to be repeat, but I think that's okay because every one of those 3 platforms that we have has a totally different audience. And the website is ultimately going to be the end all be all capture point for everybody, but especially I'd say the 40 to 45 and under crowd. And I mean, I think we should have a conversation about potentially doing an Instagram. I'm, again, somebody not on social media, but I've seen a lot of other ad coms using that. And if we're going to be as visible as we've started to become over the last year by doing farmers forums, open farm days, possibly the farm fair in the spring, you really need something like Instagram to connect with the next gen, just in terms of visual content, videos. So I think that's something that we can think about going into the future. But for now, the website, I think, has to have everything, and repetition is going to be okay and should be expected.
Yeah.
Marissa, you are a busy girl. I looked at it, I'm like, holy.
No, it's good.
Well, at
Yeah.
least the starting point. And then obviously, Sage, you can change the photos as you see fit. You have so many of them now. So going forward, it's just a possible layout right now to tinker with. I just thought having it photo heavy, especially again, because we've been so visible and doing so much, is the way to go to kind of flex our muscles a little bit and say, hey, look at everything we've done over the past 9 months. We've had a lot of events and stuff and visibility, so we should definitely show that off and be proud of it.
For sure.
Totally agree.
And should we do some kind of, I mean, so the website's out there, should we do some kind of a rollout? You know, email the link to, say, town employees, our own networks.
One thing I did want to do, since now it is official, we have the .com business cards. We have a budget, and it's not that hard to afford those. We can hand them out to everyone, especially at events and stuff like that. We just be like, hey, .com. I mean, I literally had a flight with someone who literally lived a mile from me. I don't know how that happened because I was coming all the way from Virginia, and they just happened to board my connecting flight in Washington, D.C. They happened to be coming from Delaware or something like that. We joined up together, and we were literally next to each other. And I'm like,
Wow.
yeah, why don't you come to Farm Day? And they're like, oh, whoa, I didn't even know this was a thing. I just pulled out my thing card, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, good point. Yeah.
Yeah, business cards are cheap.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and I totally think we should have Instagram. I'm not on Instagram myself, not being 45 or younger.
I'm not
Um,
either. So just looking at statistics though for marketing and trying to, you know.
I'm still just under that bar.
I just hit over
Stay
it.
there. Yeah.
Oh, there's a tangent here, but there's a church in Feeding Hills on Route 187. They have one of those signs with the movable letters.
Yeah.
And the sign right now says, before Twitter, there was church signs.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Anything else on online? Anybody? Good.
Other than us keeping it going, and
Hmm.
oh, that's one thing I want to mention, because I know me and Marissa talked about this. Don't feel like you can't touch or alter the site, and especially if you have ideas. Seriously, if you want access to do something or upload something and stuff like this, just ask me. I'll open up the permission to you. It's actually very, very
It's very
easy.
easy. The only problem is if you have it open and someone else has it open at the same time, you're gonna be fighting each other.
Because Wix not that compatibility.
It knows it both open, and it's gonna keep saying, this site's been updated, and it's gonna make you refresh it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Gotcha.
It's a little bit tricky. Yeah, so if anybody checks the website this evening, I'd say it's mostly done. There's just 2 more pages that I need to kind of consolidate and make uniform in terms of the layout, and then kind of just add a little bit more data to what Sage already has put on them. But other than that, I think I mean, you can definitely navigate it now and get information. So, but if you just give me another day, I can finish tidying up, and then I think it'll be, you can let people know to visit it or send out the announcement that you were mentioning, Bert, to kind of present it to folks.
Okay. Oh, and say just as a detail, but you were looking into doing it as like a government project, for the billing, so we avoid taxes. Were you able to?
Well, technically, Marissa said that she was gonna make a call.
Oh,
Let me follow up with the Wix people because I got an automated response. So, and I'm supposed to hear back within 5 business days, which I think we're just about at. So let me follow up on that then.
okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, the master plan committee. Jessica and I are happy and Marissa, because it's almost over.
It just began. What are you talking about?
I mean, it's been a very interesting process, and a lot of hard work has gone into it. Our next steps are on next Thursday, the 21st. Pioneer Valley Planning Commission is going to give us a final draft of the plan, with the graphics and the look and feel and all that. On October 5th, meet with the planning board to present it to them, because they're the ones who have to officially adopt the master plan. And then the master plan advisory committee has one more meeting later in October. And then I think we are done. But as you're saying, Sage, it's just beginning, in the sense that there's going to be an implementation committee. This is not final, but as a group, we're thinking it would be 9 members on the implementation committee. Somebody from select board, somebody from planning, somebody from ag, conservation, EDC, etc., plus 2 sort of at-large residents. And we don't know how often they'll meet, but the mission will be, as projects come up around town, to review, see if it jives with the master plan.
Almost like a pre-approved
Yeah.
board.
So make sure that stuff we say in the plan actually happens. What the schedule for the implementation committee, we don't know yet. They'll probably set it. There's been some talk about, quarterly meeting, that'll be up to them. But I would like everyone to think about it and think about who the representative from the AgCom could be, because it's not going to be me. So just sort of back your mind, see what you think. Again, it's a little bit hard to decide when you don't really know what the schedule is going to be and what the commitment's going to be, but we'll find that out soon. Okay, now the farm parade. Speaking of interesting things, I've been trying for some time to find out if there's going to be a farm parade, and Buzz Karen was trying to find out.
Oh boy.
And I've emailed them, and so then actually my neighbor Jean, who donated the charging thing to the farm parade, to the farm day, sent a Facebook page with, it says farm parade October 28th. I'm like, oh, really? So I sent an email and I said, hello, DD family. I've seen on the Southwick Community Facebook page that the parade is October 28th this year. Info isn't updated on your website. And I also see on your Facebook page that the Battle of the Badges is October 14th. That's a baseball game between the fire department and police department. If the parade is October 28th, can we use last year's registration form that's on the website? Thank you, Bert Hansen, AgCom. And I get back, this is on Monday. Hello, we'll get back to you shortly. We are extremely busy right now. Joe Didi. And then Cindy sends me this a Facebook page, Southwick Farm Parade, October 28th, you know, come one, come all. So it's very interesting how this has unfolded.
Is it dated this year? Or does it just say October 28th, that's it?
It just says October 28th, but that is
What day is it?
that's a Saturday.
So that it's permanently every year it's gonna be that date.
Well, I don't know. This is just a Facebook page. So. So the question becomes, well, before I ask the question, the Sage recently found information. I think the Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts are doing the trunk or treat that same day. Like 4:30 to 6:30 or something like
Something
that.
like
or-
that, yeah, it's actually on the flyer.
Yeah, I lost the flyer.
They said they were gonna do it earlier.
No, it says 4:30 to 6:30, wear your favorite costume and have fun. And this is for, 28th,
I did that
Yeah.
last year for the
Yeah. So,
Wally Park, same place as.
so a few questions. I mean, it seems to me that the Southwick Civic Fund doesn't really want us in the parade. Maybe I'm
We can still
reading
do
it
a
wrong.
float. Anybody can do a float.
Yeah. But I think we should participate, you know, for sure. Read the AgCom,
It is a
Yeah.
farm parade where agriculture, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, application is available
course.
on the website. That's the one.
Yeah. So we should, it's $20. I was talking to Inga Hotaling today about this and she said, let's get all the farm day farms. We'll have, you know, have like a whole convoy of our own. I don't know about
If we
that,
did
but
do something, we could have something where we have like some kind of sign or representation for different farms in town.
yeah.
If they want to.
And I'm wondering,
I
Alex
think
is
Calabrese was
yeah.
one of their tractors in it last year, if I recall.
I think so. Yeah. Alex, I'm wondering could we use your vintage tractor as our?
If you want, yeah. It'll be there.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Hmm?
It's the board.
Yeah.
Farm tractor, yeah.
And then we'll get I don't know if you have any kind of a wagon for a hayride
We
type
do
thing.
have a dump wagon, we were talking about bringing that, but I don't know what the tires are, so it kind of is gonna depend on like if it's super hot. Or they might be better, I gotta look at them,
Okay.
they might be dry rotting.
We actually have a cold front coming in, so maybe it'll last long enough for the farm parade.
I think it's blow out, that's all.
Yeah, I imagine, I know that's a busy time for Lenita at Blossoming Acres, but she might,
She'll
be
be
able
at
to-
market.
yeah, she's at market
And
that day,
she's
but I
got
wonder
the
if
hay- She's got the hay rides in October.
Yeah.
et cetera, things.
yeah, okay, so. Well, I'm sure we can find a wagon with tires.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that's great. So I'll send in the application, get us in there. I'm thinking we'll get some banners made for the sides of the wagon and, you
Could
know,
we advertise our next open farm day on one of the banners?
awesome, yeah.
Can I just chime in? This is the fourth or fifth year that this event has gone on, and it's gone on. I just want to go on record and say it's gone on without the participation directly of the Agricultural Commission. And we've tried to create this bridge before with the Civic Fund since the very first year that this took place, which I believe was in 2018 or 2019. And like Bert was saying, you know, maybe this is a different kind of event and they have their own vision. So I think doing a float, that's great, but I don't encourage or feel that our commission should necessarily go beyond that. I feel that we have kind of, echoing the last comment I made about everything we've achieved over the last 9 months, from the Farmers Forum back at the beginning of this year till now, thinking about other things that we'd like to do in the pipeline. I think we're really differentiating ourselves as a entity within town that is doing something directly for farmers. Something I've heard from actual farmers about this parade is that it's great and it builds community spirit. It builds kind of like awareness that, you know, we are like a homesteading community, but it doesn't necessarily correlate back to the farms in a direct way is what we've been doing with the forum, with Open Farm Day, potentially this fair in the spring. So I would just say like, it's totally okay if like, you know, they don't necessarily want our involvement. Like, I think a float is a great idea, and just like Southwick AgCom on there, because obviously like Sage is saying, like, we should dovetail into this, but I think we are kind of going in much deeper than what this farm parade is doing. So I just want to remind our commission of kind of like what our mission is, and you know, not stretch ourselves too thin, and just remember like what we are actually trying to do for farms and farm businesses in town. So I think the float would be fabulous though. So, and we can take the hint from the civic fund, I guess, is what I'm saying in conclusion. So
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think it's kind of take the high road and participate. But I think what you're saying, Marissa, makes a lot of sense, that we're there,
Just participate,
you know.
yeah. And advertise the farms that are in town.
Yeah. We had a great farm day. I think at least a banner representing it, just to say,
Yeah.
hey, it's kind of a thanks to the community as well, because it's
Yeah,
exactly what it is, celebrating.
I know Lindsay's in it. Lindsay's gonna have her animals in it.
Oh, she is, yeah. Mhm. I was thinking we could
Can I
even,
see the flyer? Can I see the flyer? Yeah, it's
you know,
for them.
maybe some people are on the wagon, maybe some are walking behind, throwing some candy, maybe handing out our farm trail brochures.
How about
Yeah.
something, some
Business
candy
cards.
taped to the
Business
farm?
cards.
Like a couple lollipops or something with the farm brochure taped here.
Yeah, you can actually, I did a real quick
So
look.
it's not sitting on the road after.
Yeah.
Definitely gonna pick it up.
There's a company that sells all kinds of fun crafts and candies and all this stuff. Oriental Trading. I can't
Yeah.
believe they're still named that.
Yeah,
You know, but,
I order a lot of crafts from there.
Yeah.
From market.
and you can get, one thing you can get is personalized candy corn treat packs. So it's a little bag of candy corn, and with a label on it that you can say, you know, we can say Southwick AgCom, you know, we love a parade, you know, that's just one thing. It's a little, another tangent, you can actually get candy corn traffic cones. So traffic cones that are painted like candy corn. I don't know if we ever would need those, but
Sounds well.
so we can look into that. So, okay, we'll, let's see, we meet again before, we'll be October like 12th or 13th or somewhere in there. So we can be working on this in the meantime, and then kind of finalize everything, you know, then. But how about the trunk or treat? How could we and how could we participate in that?
Well, me and my wife were talking about it, and because we have our kids and everything, we were thinking that if you wanted to, because I know we already stretched thin as this, we were possibly gonna do it like ourselves, but have the banner of agriculture, and we already thought of a nice theme, and also a way to actively promote the farming in a way. I don't wanna say it live because I don't want anyone trying to take the idea.
Okay.
I'll tell it after the meeting, but it's just, we did kind of work something out that might actually work pretty nice, and
Hmm.
if everyone's okay with that kind of thing, if
Yeah.
not, we go ahead with it, but we'll actually have our ag
It's
commission.
very, very, very busy event.
It
Very
is.
busy, yeah.
So I just,
The only thing
if
we,
you're in the, I've walked the parade route before. That's actually where we met Marissa years ago. I don't know if you remember. But it's, well, I'm not super in shape, but it's it's a good walk because you're going up the hills and stuff. So if you're someone like myself who can potentially get tired easily, I would just say don't sign up for both.
Yeah,
It is tiring.
and if you want to work on that, Sage, and then those of us who can,
Yeah.
will be there.
Everyone,
And okay,
the one thing is, candy, will that be sponsored through us?
yeah, why not? Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're promoting AgCom, you know.
Every other town, I go bar up because I've done it for that last year for the library. They go on, if they're from the town, they get their own food, I believe through the, I'm not positive, but so yeah, it would be, or should be.
Yeah. Okay.
It'll be fun.
Yeah, it's a really cool event, but
It's 2 hours long, it feels like 2 hours forever, 2 hours. Seriously,
Okay.
because you just have so many kids, it's
if you have
ridiculous.
great weather, it goes by fast. So
Yeah.
I'm
yeah.
glad that it's earlier, because when it was dark, it's dark.
Yeah, okay. Super, well, thanks, Sage, for kind of spearheading that.
Have fun.
So, I'm not sure if we mentioned this at the last meeting, but Zach signed us up for an account on Zillow, so, and we put some parameters out there, so whenever certain types of properties come up for sale, you know, we hear about it. One that recently, came up was Pioneer Dairy, right, Zach, and have you seen anything further about that?
Not really, my buddy Justin, who volunteered on Farm Day, he lives at the house at Pioneer Dairy, so
Oh,
he gets inside information. But yeah,
okay,
I guess the current prospective buyer wants to put a gas station there.
So how long
Yeah.
those?
a gas station, I don't know why. We already have 3 big gas stations,
Yeah.
not
I mean,
on
it's-
57.
Is it with the car industry? It feels like that's all they're doing with the land now.
but-
It's gonna be either a car lot,
Yeah.
auto body place or a gas station.
Right.
Can we go somewhere else? Seriously.
My wife Juliet would like to see a Trader Joe's there.
So would everybody in town.
I don't know. I mean, I was saying to Zach, I personally think we could do some really nice housing. You know, one of the big things with the master plan is the problem with housing. There's not enough of it, and what there is too expensive. So some nice, not $600,000, 4,000 square foot houses, but something that
Well,
people.
they're gonna find a real developer that
Right.
actually knows how to be realistic and not ones that
Yeah.
wanna shoot for the moon.
Like one behind Big Y.
That's, the one behind Big Y is keeping the Conservation Commission in business. It's on every agenda. Anyway. So I guess we just kind of keep an eye on that. I don't know what we could do.
Yeah, I don't know.
To
It's what, 18 acres or
prevent-
something?
Hmm?
It's like 18 acres or something.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what we could do as a commission. Yeah. To try to stop a gas station, you know,
I'm stuck Carvana.
well, yeah.
All you have to do is get all the people say no.
But anyway, we'll see.
And there's other properties in town too. On Claus Anderson, there's a bunch of land for sale.
Hmm.
I don't know if there's anything we can do about that.
Yeah. Okay, well,
The problem is it's all coming up at the same time.
Right.
Really had to check this.
right. So Big E and Farmerama. From our last meeting, Mike Petruska was here and saying that they were gonna develop a display, and for folks on Zoom, this is what it looks like. They took, Marissa, you sent them information, right, with our right to farm and our brochure and everything. And they took that and then I worked with them to kind of put the focus on Open Farm Day and, so I'll just pass this around to,
Now that we have a website, you can put a QR code on it.
yeah,
I know he was so big on that.
there is a QR code on this display, but I asked them to point it to our Facebook page, because that was at the time, you know, when they were doing this, that was
Was it
more.
already printed?
Well, I have a QR code also for the site already.
Okay,
Maurice, did you keep it? Cause I did have it on the site at one point.
Yeah, it's on there. I guess I didn't understand like having it on the site though, because usually
Oh.
it has, you know, but it's on there. If you want me to put it back on, usually it's to guide
Oh.
people to the site, but
That was only there so that people actually had quick access to it just temporarily. I mean, us as a commission, just because I know you guys, everyone was talking about getting the QR code and then getting it to, yeah. And I didn't know who was talking to him, so I was like, here it is, just take it when you need it, and then I was gonna remove it. So
I'll
if
put
you
it under
were,
resources. How about
There
that?
you-
Good idea.
yeah,
That way, if anyone ever needs to do something graphically, they can just pull it from there, you know, so we can tell them it's under the resources tab, so.
And this is a map of the Big E grounds. The Farmerama is in the Stroh building, STROH. And at bige.com/agriculture, there's a lot of ag stuff that goes on at the Big E.
Oh, yeah.
I've never gone there for that. So if you want to just
Keep
take
everything.
note of the website, I'm not sure. And because of our contribution to Farmerama, we each get tickets to the Big E.
Oh, thank you.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
Heck yeah.
That only costs half as much.
We kids home.
And Marissa and
Won't cost me nearly as much.
Marissa and Jess and Cindy, I'll get yours to you.
Okay.
I'll give a couple of these to Lucas.
So yeah, my money always goes to my kids.
So I thought that was pretty nice. I thought, is there some sort of like
Do you
a,
want me to
Hmm?
Do you want me to give them to Juanita?
oh,
I
yeah,
don't know, so much you could give them the.
and I was wondering if there's like some sort of work requirement, so to speak, to get these tickets. You got to go to the booth, the Farmerama booth, and be there, but there isn't.
I'll
It's
be there
just,
anywhere.
it's just,
I could always go.
just a free
milk
ticket.
cow.
So that's
I
pretty
didn't realize they had the milking cow.
Yeah, in there. Up there when you walk in, it's there, baby chicks.
Thank you
okay.
very much. I appreciate that. Thank you, Mike. And yeah, you can just give it to my mom, I guess. Thank you.
Well, that's true, isn't it? Yeah, that'd be the easy way to do it.
Throw it on the pile.
Okay. Let's see, Open Farm Day. Loose ends and the budget review. We can't really do the budget review because the bills are still coming in for like the advertising and that kind of thing. Some come to Inga, some come to me. Some are pretty vague what they're actually charging for, so we got to work on that a bit. In terms of loose ends, Inga is working on a thank you card type of thing. I mean, it's bigger than a postcard, but I haven't actually seen it yet. For the volunteers and the farmers, something that they could post on their wall or whatever if they so desired. Do the bills. We want to, and one thing I think we should definitely do is put together, I hate to say a manual, it could be on the flash drive, I suppose, but a list of the sponsors, list of the volunteers, list of the farms. So next year we can just say, okay, here's what we did last year, and we won't have to rack our brains and try to remember.
We just throw it on the Google Doc and leave that active.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting Google Doc exists.
Just
Maybe I could,
spreadsheets, right? Like sponsors
Yeah.
and volunteers.
Yep. And then maybe copies of the ads that we ran, stories in Southwoods and Westfield News and elsewhere, all that kind of stuff. Along those lines, when Inga and I went to Channel 15 and did our little 15 minutes of fame there for the cable access, Ken Stromsky, who runs that, said if we give him photos from the day, he'll put together a slideshow for us. So that might be kind of nice. Put that on the website. Yeah, I think that's it. I think we're going to be talking about Open Farm Day for a few more meetings. So, until we start working on the next one.
Right. We're already working on the next, what are you talking about?
So what do we think? We talked about possibly at the farm parade promoting next year's Farm Day. It was the third Sunday in August this year.
It went pretty well.
It did.
Yeah, and some of the farmers specifically said that Sunday was a better day than like Saturday. So if we do
Well,
third Sunday next August, it'll be the 18th.
I would actually say, let's try to research when that Westfield Fair is
Oh,
again,
yeah.
just to see if
Yeah.
we can avoid it.
I'm just saying,
Maybe do it, I don't know, a little bit later in September, I don't know.
Yeah.
the part of when kids are back in school though.
Yeah, it's
Right.
best to do it before kids are at school.
Before you have everything else.
Yeah, I was looking, we said last time, maybe it was you, Sage, saying, oh, I wonder what the Westfield Fair attendance was this
Yeah.
year. And I've been looking on their website. It isn't on there.
No,
There's a
We have
person
to reach out probably.
you have to call someone and find out because we were trying to, did we create more activity or did we take some of theirs? You know,
I'm pretty sure we stole some.
Um,
And one thing, I kind of like this map. We should do one for Farm Day, maybe. Maybe a 3D version, just like a layout, so people get an idea of a possible route if we do have that kind of thing,
yeah,
a possibility.
yeah, for sure.
Just because it's kind of nice, you know?
Yeah.
Makes it fun for the kids.
Great. Okay. So Marissa, could you just give us a quick overview on where you are with the chapter 61 stuff? I know you presented to the select board a couple of weeks ago, or whenever that was. Zach was there, but many of us weren't. I was there, but some folks were not. So if you could just let us know where that all stands.
Unfortunately, no updates. It's been on the agenda in the 2 subsequent select board meetings since that presentation. And that presentation, just to reiterate for those that weren't there, was August 14th. And that was just a summarization of the whole thing, from top to bottom, right of first refusal, what that means, what the different chapters, 60, 61, 61B. I'm sorry, 61A, 61B, what each one kind of breaks down and why I was, proposing this protocol. So nothing that our commission hasn't heard and already endorsed. I had been under the impression, based off of what Chairman Moglen said at that meeting, at the conclusion of my presentation, that in order for them to review it, it would first have to go to town council, which I was grateful for, because obviously, the whole idea is to have this protocol be in compliance with Mass General Law, which I believe it is. I wrote it right off of that website, the mass.gov website, the legislative website. But the select board gave the impression that they wanted to review that with town council first. So I had understood that to be the next steps, but when it was on the agenda at the meeting after that, they didn't discuss it. And then this past Monday, it was on the agenda again. And the only reference they made to it is that they needed to review it still. So I actually sent a message to the select board office after that, just asking for clarification, because it's been a month now and I was dismayed that it hasn't moved at all since that day that I presented. So the clarification that I got was that the select board has to review it first. So it's not going to town council first. And that upon reviewing it, the select board then has to make a motion, then send it to town council. So long story short, it's still in the works, but there's been no progress made at this point since that presentation on the 14th. But I will let you guys know when it is discussed at the select board meeting and where it moves on from there.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for keeping going, pushing on that.
I have a question for you,
Yeah.
well, I guess Marissa specifically, so should you have the baby and then it's on the thing, do you want one or more of
Oh.
us to attend on your behalf or do anything for you?
Very good question.
Thank you for thinking about that. So prepared, more than me. I would ask that they just table the discussion, because if there are specific questions, I really appreciate the offer, but I feel like I've been living in chapter 61 of MGL for the past
You should.
12 months. And I'm kind of like, living in that world. So you know what I will do, based on what you just said, Tammy, I will let the select board office know that if it does come to that, it is on the agenda and I can't make the meeting, that and they wish to, discuss it with somebody, that they just let me know, when they do plan on having a discussion, so that I can be there one way or another, or ask them to maybe move it to another date if I'm indisposed. So,
Yeah.
but I'll stay on top of that. I'll have a contingency plan for sure. So,
Have the baby hold the iPad.
Yeah.
this protocol is my baby. Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Marissa. Well, speaking of the select board, our next item is commission membership and appointments. We're almost there. We got Jessica and I'm sorry. Angie. And we got, Sage and Zach as full commissioners now, Jessica and Angie on as alternates. Anita moved to an alternate. Tammy, I'm not sure if you're officially an alternate. I think so. But anyway, my goal is to have Angie become a full commissioner, because that's what we've been planning on. There are two other applicants. Jonathan Thornton and Jennifer Bernier, whom I don't know, but I need to call them. But I think since Angie's been trying to get there for a while, and both of those candidates said that AgCom was their second choice after something else. So I think we want Angie, who is her first choice. So I don't know, in terms of kind of referencing what you said, Marissa, about the select board, I'm not sure when we're gonna get on their agenda again. It was on a very long list of old business stuff last Monday. So we'll keep plugging away. They're gonna get sick of seeing the AgCom, I think.
They updated the website. Tammy is an associate now.
Okay, all right, thank you, Zach. I thought so. It just wasn't.
Looks like we have one vacant seat.
Yeah, so that'll be Angie. And
Hopefully.
And then we'll have a vacant associate.
yeah, we can have up to 5 associates though, so we have
Biggest AgCom.
we got this. Doug Morgan likes to say the biggest AgCom in the Commonwealth.
And it's the funnest.
And the funnest, absolutely. Okay, let's see,
All right,
almost.
while we're on the topic of commission membership, just while we're still on that agenda point, it's come to my attention, just kind of having listened to these select board meetings and kind of their methodology for figuring out, who's going to be on, reading into kind of that research. We should also be looking at annually electing our chair, and we don't have a vice chair either. So we have a chair now, but we've been operating without a vice chair. Is this something that we can think about, just as we are kind of recruiting new members, to make sure that we kind of comply with what we should be doing annually as a commissioner board? Make sure the officer seats are all filled as they should be according to protocols.
Yep.
What is our process? We have a vice, a regular chair, and is there anything else?
I think it's just chair and vice chair. I don't think there's any other sort of
I think
direct.
you might need a clerk.
Technically you do, I believe. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
I think so.
Yeah. However, I'm unclear. This is a good question, like in terms of like maybe Cindy being able to answer. So I'm under the impression that a clerk is required as well, but when you have a secretary, is that the same thing, or does that need to be an appointed member who is clerk and then you have a secretary as well, like someone like yourself, Cindy? Do you know?
I believe the clerk is appointed, but I could be wrong, but I can double check tomorrow. I can call him. I can ask Lisa.
That's the impression I had too, but I figured I'd ask, with you being secretary, like if there was a difference. But I think clerk is also appointed just like vice chair, and it has to be like a member of the commission. But if you could double check that, that would be great. Thank you.
And
Yeah, you're welcome.
you mean appointed by us? Right? Like we elect our own chair,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I was recently on the town website. I was trying to find the rules for, like, the bylaw for our commission. It was very hard to find anything.
Hmm.
It's just kind of all jumbled into a pile. You have to like search for agricultural commission and kind of sort through what's there, but I didn't find the actual original, like,
Oh, really? Oh, because it's there.
I don't know, I had a hard time finding it.
Kind of the reason why we have our website.
Yeah, so if we can find that, put it on our website, that'd be great. Like,
Yeah, okay. But in terms of the vice chair, I'm not sure we actually need that. I thought I had a pretty much a life term as chair.
Well,
No, it's-
I don't know if there's rules to it or not, I couldn't
Yeah.
find them.
okay. Okay, let's see, the community garden. One of the worst years for weeds ever.
Yeah,
Rain, heat, the weeds loved it. There were weeds there in the unused plots that were 4 or 5 feet tall and as big as my finger, if not bigger. But, whatever, 2 people contacted me who, at this time of year, just a couple of weeks ago, who wanted 2 plots each.
Ooh,
So maybe to get ready for next
are
year.
they still 5 foot tall or
No, well, I want to
Oh, wow.
publicly thank Ron Cecchini.
something?
He was able to get his tractor in there. And he mowed first and then he tilled it and it actually looks really good. There's a local landscaper called Keensight that I asked. I didn't think anybody was going to be able to get a tractor in there. So I asked them about, like a walk behind brush hog type of thing and then tilling. That was going to be $600. So Ron saved us, $600. So that's a very nice thing.
Thank you very much.
We should, in addition to the verbal thank you, we should do, get him something, a gift card or something, I think.
For gas,
Gas.
yeah.
it's more expensive,
Yeah, right.
let's help them out the right way.
Yeah. Oh, I just have to go back to Farm Day for 1 second. If you get your
I got it.
current, Southwoods, kind of overview of what happened is in there. Oh, cool. And also Lucas has an article about volunteering at our community food pantry. So check that out too. Okay, minutes from our last meeting. We have some sets of minutes and I keep trying to get to this that are in arrears, so to speak, but we'll get there. But for now, we could do the minutes. We have the minutes of the August 23rd work session.
I was absent, as me as the president.
Okay,
Oh, any changes you guys see, you can make to one copy and then you can leave them for me and I'll fix them from that one copy you leave behind.
okay.
Because there was a part where you guys were going over the gifts and pulling the tickets where I listed 2 gifts and the person who won it, but I couldn't make out or hear where, like which farm they were coming from. There was 2 of those that are blank.
Okay, right. I'm not well, I'm gonna listen to the tape.
My name is spelled wrong.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, so there's a few details. So as Tammy just said, she was not here. So and Lenita is now an alternate as of August 14th, select board.
I'd probably be an alternate too, right?
Tammy, yeah. Tammy's an alternate. Angie Simone, Simone is an alternate. And then Jessica Whitmore Parker is an alternate.
The website, it calls them associates.
I know, we go back and forth on that, and the select board always calls them associates.
I don't know
The
the
bylaw, I'm pretty sure says alternate, but.
I mean, it makes sense to say alternate just because they're only really official if there's a need for it.
Yeah.
Right. Let's see. The Open Farm Day, we should say Open Farm Day prizes, not raffle.
Correct.
Town clerk is very particular about the
Yeah.
word raffle. Because it means raffle means you're selling tickets, so. And I could probably just go through and mark up some of these detail things. I don't know if you guys need to, you know,
We have to
Spend
approve
time.
them, right?
yeah. That's right, we'll have to approve them next time.
Yeah.
And I think the open farm day, not census, but I think that means census, right? CENSUS.
Yes.
Yeah, on page 2, under the prizes.
Yeah, it
open
means,
farm.
I meant to say census.
Yeah,
Going through it with the autocorrect, maybe it just,
yeah.
It's just autocorrect for anything.
I know. And then Farmerama, it was not Dave, but Mike Petruska.
Yep.
Let's see. Then the third page, second paragraph, the second annual open farm day that will take place in August 2024, not September. Next meeting. And then the same thing, Cindy, on listing the people for the signatures, you know, Tammy's an alternate, Juanita's an alternate. Zach is a commissioner, Sage is a commissioner, and we need to add Angie there too, Angie Simone as an alternate.
And Jessica.
And just,
Oh, and Jessica, sorry, Jessica.
okay.
It's too quiet.
Okay.
There's too many people on this commission for me to keep in my brain. So I guess what we'll do, Cindy, is I'll give you a marked up copy and then we'll vote on it next time. Does that make sense?
Yeah, you can do that, or some of the other boards, they make the motion to approve them with the corrections. So they just state approval with the corrections.
I would do that.
Yeah,
Whatever you want.
Yeah, let's do it that way. That makes sense.
I make a motion to approve the minutes with the corrections.
A second.
Okay. So I guess we gotta do roll call vote. So Bert Hanson, aye. Angie,
Aye.
Tammy,
Aye.
Sage,
Aye.
Zach,
Aye.
Marissa,
Aye.
and Jessica.
Hi.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Well, we're done much earlier than I thought. That's always a good thing. Unless anybody else have any other comments, questions, any other projects you want us to take on? Ha ha ha.
Well, I think we also, we're gonna talk about having that the farm thing in the spring. When do we want to put that on the agenda? Because that still takes planning too.
Sure. Let's put that on for next time. It'll be October, and we should think that through too.
Yeah.
I think we should make that be a very different kind of thing than the open farm day. We don't want to have two
Yeah, no,
things that are the same.
I don't want people getting bored.
Right. But it would be good, you know, in say April, like, which is when we used to have the tractor rally, have something then as a sort of a kickoff of the farming season. So
And she reminds me, I meant to ask, the tractor rally, was that not popular? Is that why it stopped? I mean, what happened to that? Because I actually was never aware of it. And
Oh.
it was already never happening.
no, I think it was because of COVID. So we did it 5 times and then COVID, and then we didn't do it anymore.
But we a lot of things.
Yeah, for sure.
There was- I don't know if it was the last time it happened, or it was freezing.
It was really cold that last
It
one.
was freezing.
And windy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's,
And maybe we can add to the next agenda or to the subsequent one. I guess it's gonna be October already, next meeting. But
Yeah.
the Farmers Forum, just to kind of start thinking about that. I think the idea of doing that in January, like in the dead of winter, we had good attendance. And there's obviously like a lot to report on in terms of updates, but I'd also like to think about like substantive like resources that we can begin researching between now and then that we can offer farmers, because we got specific requests about grants and stuff. And when I was working on the website, I was doing some research on grants, and through the master plan, I've been researching about other grants, but it would be good to kind of like have a head start on that, so that way when we go there in January, we can kind of like present to folks and say, hey, like we have found these grants, we're posting them on the website, you know, and just have something to make sure that, you know, they continue coming each year, because they're going to get something fresh, new, and interesting, and kind of correlated to what they requested the year before, you know, that we're kind of following
Sure.
up, listening to them. So
Yep. And actually, along those lines, I've been connecting with Lynn Blair at the library off and on, trying to get a grant writing workshop together. She has somebody from CISA in Amherst that she's waiting to hear back from on that. So and she's supposed to hear back like any time now. So hopefully we can do a
that would
workshop.
be amazing. Yeah. Wow. Awesome. Yay, Lynn Blair.
Yeah. And sorry to jump around again, but back on the master plan and the implementation committee, and actually Marissa has made this point before. You know, I'm not sure how many chapters to the master plan, you know, 8 or 10. And agriculture figures into several of them. Climate change and sustainability, for example, economic development. There are 13 actions where agriculture is either the lead or a support commission. So as we look to the future and set our agendas, there's going to be a lot. So
We got a big commission, so we'll take it.
that's
all.
right. Yeah. Well, let's see, there's 13 actions we're involved in. We'll have to expand to 13 members, right? And then
I will make that happen. He's happy. So.
So this has to be an odd number.
Yes.
right. For sure. So. Okay, would someone like to make a motion to adjourn?
Oh, before that,
Okay.
just a heads up, like I said, again, the trunk or treat, I'll discuss that, so don't go out the door, just have me end this, please. So I can
Okay.
just tell you what the idea was, but yes, I'd make the motion to
Okay.
adjourn.
Any second?
Second.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Okay, Cindy, you can stop the recording.